The Las Vegas Raiders have kicked off their mandatory minicamp, and the energy around the facility is electric. From what we're hearing and seeing, this team isn't just preparing, they're hunting. Let's dive into what really matters. First off, the vibe is different this year. No drama, no holdouts, no players sitting out for contracts. The entire roster, locked in, focused, hungry. That kind of unity is rare, and it's the first sign that the Raiders mean business this season. But of course, not everything is perfect. There's one major name missing, Christian Wilkins. Reports say he wasn't even seen inside the building. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he wasn't there at all. He could have been in the facility, just not visible to the media. Still, what we do know is, Wilkins is dealing with a foot injury and has not participated in minicamp so far. It's not expected to be serious, but for someone expected to anchor the defensive line, it's a situation fans are watching closely. Now, let's talk about someone who is turning heads, Adam Butler. After missing the last 2 open practices, Butler showed up looking leaner, quicker, and more locked in than ever. He's back on the field and moving like a man with something to prove. Remember, Butler had a career-best season last year, and this offseason, he's clearly been grinding to elevate his game to elite status. He's not just participating, he's dominating. You can see it in the way he moves, his explosiveness, his conditioning. Butler looks like he's ready to lead. Before we get to the latest footage and inside reports, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss breaking news, analysis, and raw sideline footage straight from Las Vegas. Let's keep building the best Raiders community on YouTube. Now, let's roll into those clips. Las Vegas Raiders. O-line grit and ground. Game focus at minicamp. Let's talk about the trenches, where games are truly won and lost. At the Raiders minicamp, one group that's showing serious promise is the offensive line, and these drills tell us more than stats ever could. We got an up-close look at a sequence of run-blocking reps that showed the kind of discipline and power this unit is building. In the first rep, big number 65, yes, the anchor, executes a textbook reach block. What makes this special? The defender tries to crash outside, but 65 seals him perfectly, keeping his hips turned inside. That's how you create lanes in a zone run scheme. It's clean, controlled, and aggressive, the kind of rep that gets coaches fired up. Next up, number 78, likely Don Wagner, swaps in. He faces a different look. His defender shoots inside off the snap. Wagner stays calm, adjusts mid-rep, and seals him inside, flipping the angle and finishing the play. This is exactly what coaches want to see: smart reaction, fast feet, and finishing strength. The technique, the communication, the footwork, this O-line isn't just going through the motions. They're laying a foundation to dominate the run game, which could be huge given the talent in the Raiders' backfield. No fluff, no gimmicks, just raw, physical football. And if you're a Raiders fan, these early signs from minicamp should give you real confidence. The groundwork is being laid, literally, for something special. Zone run magic, how the Raiders are building a smarter ground game. What makes the Raiders' run game so promising this year? It's not just strength, it's strategy, and it all starts with zone blocking. At minicamp, the Raiders' O-line has been putting on a clinic in how to manipulate defensive alignment using zone principles. The brilliance of zone runs lies in their simplicity and flexibility. If a defender wants to stay outside, whether it's the B gap for a guard or the C gap for a tackle, the offensive lineman doesn't have to chase him or force a block inside. Instead, he just keeps driving him outward, opening a natural cutback lane for the running back. That's the magic here, controlled chaos. If the defense stretches wide, the back shifts focus and patiently finds daylight inside. If the defender crashes inward, like we saw in Dalton Wagner's rep, the lineman adjusts, seals him off, and the back has the freedom to bounce it outside. This isn't just physical, it's mental warfare at the line of scrimmage, and the Raiders are clearly committed to mastering it. That kind of discipline in the trenches, it's going to matter when the lights are bright and games are on the line. Rookie battles in the trenches, Raiders' offensive line takes shape. It's not always easy to tell whether the Raiders are drilling inside zone or outside zone concepts, but one thing's clear: the offensive line is getting sharper with every rep. Take Dalton Wagner, for instance. His ability to reach blocks suggests the team is emphasizing outside zone runs, where tackles work to seal defenders off by pushing them laterally. That kind of technique demands athleticism and precision, and Wagner's showing signs of both. Then there's Jackson Powers Johnson. The rookie centers up, fires off the snap, and hooks the defensive lineman across his face with impressive quickness. It's simple execution, but done with purpose and technique, exactly what you'd want from a future starter anchoring the middle. And don't overlook Caleb Rogers. His stance reveals a key detail. He's repping at right guard. That's significant because it shows how the Raiders are rotating and evaluating talent. While Dylan Parham and Jordan Meredith are locked in a tight battle at left guard, Rogers quietly continues to earn first-team reps on the opposite side. The trenches are where seasons are won or lost. And if the early signs mean anything, this Raiders O-line is building a wall that could support one of the league's most balanced offenses. Rookies. Gaining ground, Jeanty and Besh. Standout. In recent drills, two rookies are quietly making waves for the Las Vegas Raiders, Ashton Jeanty and Jack Besh. Starting with Jeanty, the young back isn't just running the ball. He's holding his own in pass protection. During blocking reps, his hand placement stood out. He doesn't just absorb contact, he attacks it with his hands, not his helmet or shoulder. That's crucial in today's game, where a running back who can pick up a blitz is just as valuable as one who can break a run. Jeanty's balance, awareness, and control during these reps suggest he could be more than a rotational back. He's showing traits of a player who could be trusted on all three downs. Then there's Jack Besh, a wide receiver who's quietly building chemistry and refining his routes. In a recent drill, he ran a sharp inside cut with fluidity and control. It's early, but Besh is giving the Raiders reasons to believe he could be a serious contributor in the slot or out wide. With performances like these, the Raiders' rookie class is already making its presence felt, and training camp is just getting started. Dante Thornton keeps flashing. Rookie wide receiver, Dante Thornton continues to turn heads in Raiders camp. After impressing during rookie minicamp and OTAs, Thornton is now making noise again in voluntary minicamp. ESPN's Ryan McFadden reported that during a red zone period, quarterback Geno Smith connected with Thornton for a touchdown in tight coverage. The rookie beat a veteran defender, name undisclosed, and hauled in the score with precision and control. What's significant here is Thornton's consistency. He's not just having one good day, he's stacking strong performances. At 6 feet 5 inches with length and catch radius, he's exactly the kind of red zone mismatch the Raiders have been missing. And the fact that he's already getting first-team reps speaks volumes about how quickly he's earned trust from the coaching staff. No pads yet, but no excuses either. Thornton is beating defenders under the same conditions as everyone else. And for now, he's proving that his potential might translate when it matters most. Thornton outpacing the competition. While Jack Beck reportedly caught a touchdown from Aiden O'Connell, that came with the second-team unit. Meanwhile, Dante Thornton is making plays with the first team, which speaks volumes about where he stands on the depth chart. Thornton getting consistent reps with Geno Smith and the starters indicates he may be pulling ahead of Beck, and possibly other young receivers. It's early, and nothing is set in stone, but Thornton is clearly flashing in key moments. This is the stage, first-team reps against first-team defenders, where real players separate themselves. And Thornton, he's standing out. There's no guarantee what his ceiling will be, but if he keeps this up, the Raiders might have something special. Could he one day be better than Brock Bowers? Could he be the Raiders' own version of Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase? It's far too early for comparisons, but the possibility is there. Even if Thornton doesn't reach superstar levels, becoming a top 20 receiver, or even matching the early impact of someone like Puka Nacua, would be a massive win for this Raiders offense. Remember, at Tennessee, this guy averaged nearly 30 yards per catch. The upside is very real, Thornton drawing attention for all the right reasons. At Tennessee, Dante Thornton had a knack for making big plays, catching a ball and instantly taking off. Some chalk that up to Tennessee's wide-open offensive scheme, and that's fair. But the main critique was that he didn't run a full route tree. Still, that doesn't mean he can't. So far, Thornton is showing he can get open, make contested catches, and flash high-level traits early in camp. That's exciting for a Raiders team that's looking for young talent to step up. Don't get it twisted. Jack Beck is also a promising player. And if both Beck and Thornton pan out, the Raiders are going to be in a very strong position at wide receiver for years to come. One recent highlight, Geno Smith hit Thornton for a touchdown, with two defensive backs draped over him, according to team reporter Levi Edwards. That's the same play from earlier reports, but Levi adds the detail that it came in the tight coverage, making the play even more impressive. And here's the key part. Edwards says Thornton has been one of, if not the most impressive rookie for the Raiders this offseason. That sentiment echoes what insiders are saying behind the scenes. Thornton is turning heads. Yes, it's still just OTAs and minicamp, and no, they're not in pads yet. But when multiple sources start repeating the same story about a rookie consistently shining, you start paying attention. And right now, Dante Thornton is giving the Raiders every reason to believe he could be something special. Colton Miller wants to be a Raider for life. Colton Miller, the Raiders' starting left tackle, spoke to the media today and made one thing very clear. He wants to be a Raider for life. That's huge. Miller is entering the final year of his contract and has been one of the few long-standing anchors on this roster. He might even be the longest tenured Raider at this point. When he first entered the league, many fans were ready to give up on him after a rough first couple of seasons. But instead of fading out, he kept working, improving, and developed into a top 10 to top 15 tackle in the NFL. And here's what makes Miller even more valuable. He's never demanded top dollar. Despite his high-level play, his last contract wasn't anywhere near the top of the market. He just wanted to stay in Las Vegas and help this team win. If the Raiders are serious about building a solid offense, especially with Geno Smith now under center, keeping Miller is critical. We've seen what happens when Geno doesn't have protection. In Seattle, his best season came when the O-line was stable. But when they rebuilt that line and injuries struck, his performance dipped. That's why it's important the Raiders keep continuity and talent on the offensive line. Yes, there's potential in guys like Charles Grant and DJ Glaze, but nothing is guaranteed. Remember when people thought Thayer Munford was the future at tackle? When he finally got the shot, he didn't deliver. So with Miller already proven, reliable, and committed to the franchise, the decision is simple. Extend him now. Whether it's a 3-year extension or more, lock him in and secure one of your most important positions for the future. Hopefully, GM Tom Telesco gets it done soon. Jakorian Bennett played through a torn shoulder. This one might surprise you. Jakorian Bennett revealed he played through a torn labrum last season before finally opting for season-ending surgery. He said he's been dealing with shoulder issues since college and hasn't had 2 healthy shoulders for years. That's a big deal. Think about what that means for a cornerback. Press coverage, swatting passes, wrapping up tackles. It all requires shoulder strength and mobility. And Bennett said it got so bad that he had to pop his shoulder back into place 5 or 6 times during the season. That's painful, risky, and definitely affects how you play on the field. The good news? He's had surgery now. We've seen this story before. Colton Miller had a similar shoulder issue, got surgery, and after struggling early last season, finished strong. There's hope Bennett can follow that same path, get healthy, bounce back, and play up to his full potential. And if he does, the Raiders secondary could be better than people expect. Bennett is still a young player with upside, and if he's finally playing pain-free this season, don't be shocked if he takes a big step forward. Jakorian Bennett and Jeremy Chinn could boost this defense. Let's start with Jakorian Bennett. He's still recovering, but right now, he's running with the second team. Once training camp hits and he's fully healthy, when the pads come on and he starts hitting, don't be surprised if Bennett climbs back into the starting lineup. He has the speed, instincts, and potential to have a Pro Bowl caliber season if everything clicks. Now, let's talk about Jeremy Chinn. According to Jesse Merrick, Chinn might be the most versatile piece in Patrick Graham's defense. He's literally doing everything. One snap at split safety, next in the box, then lining up in the slot, or even rushing off the edge like an outside linebacker. Reporters at Raiders camp are saying it's obvious. Jeremy Chinn is everywhere. And this isn't new. Last year with the Commanders under Dan Quinn, Chinn was used in similar ways. Dan Quinn, who learned under Pete Carroll, runs a heavy cover 3 defense, just like what the Raiders are shifting to. It's no coincidence the Raiders picked up Chinn. He's a perfect scheme fit, and they plan to use him like a defensive weapon. And here's something else to keep in mind. Patrick Graham may be running Pete Carroll's system, but he's putting his own twist on it. Graham learned under Bill Belichick, so the language, responsibilities, and disguises could be very different than what Carroll or Quinn usually run. So, when you combine Jakorian Bennett getting healthy, Jeremy Chinn's Swiss Army knife role, and a defensive scheme that blends Pete Carroll's cover 3 with Belichick's complexity, you've got the potential for a defense that's much better than anyone expects. The Raiders' defense is about to evolve. This Raiders' defense isn't going to be your typical Pete Carroll cover 3 look. Patrick Graham is adding layers to it. We'll see cover 2 that rolls into cover 3, or cover 3 rotating into Tampa 2. It's going to be unpredictable, and that's exciting. What makes this unique is that we've never seen a Bill Belichick-style defensive mind like Graham paired with Pete Carroll's system. This is a rare combo, a hybrid of discipline and disguise, where coverages shift, pressure is simulated, and offenses are kept guessing. 2 years ago, I said the Raiders could build a dominant defense, and by 2023, they did just that. Despite the chaos under Josh McDaniels and struggles with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, the Raiders finished as the 9th best defense in the NFL. And from the moment Antonio Pierce took over, they were the number 1 defense in the league. A lot of that momentum can carry into this season. Sure, not every player is the same, but the core is still intact. Max Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz, and Adam Butler, all key contributors from that 2023 squad. The scheme will evolve, the personnel will adjust, but the foundation remains strong. And honestly, I believe the Raiders are heading in the right direction. This team is going to surprise people, maybe not just with a better record, but with playoff wins in the near future. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, consider subscribing. Big things are coming for the Raiders.